You're watching the SEGADriven YouTube channel, and it's back to our Sonic Hacking Contest 2023 coverage. In this video we're taking a look at Knuckles Clackers by GenesisDoes. Now, apart from having the amusing word clackers in the title, which instantly draws to mind testicles, if you're familiar with that euphemism, this has absolutely nothing to do with testicles. It's at the moment a 4-act demo of Techno Tower, which was a deleted stage from Sonic Clackers that has now been sort of like polished up and repurposed and finished, and actually modded into Knuckles Chaotix. So it is now a complete working version of Techno Tower, as opposed to the sort of unfinished and uncompletable version of Techno Tower that was featured in Sonic Clackers. So yeah, I really like that as a concept. Once again, it very much feels like archival work. They've actually preserved the original artwork and tile set from that stage in Sonic Clackers, but completed the stages, made them beatable, and allowed people to actually explore those stages in a completed form, which is a really nice little sort of like alternate history version of Knuckles Chaotix, where that stage actually made it into the game and wasn't just part of that Sonic Clackers prototype that's been kicking around for many years now. So yeah, cool stuff. Very much into the idea of finishing that stage and making it playable, and also expanding it out into 4 acts, which is really, really fun. The stage design very much actually feels very faithful to Knuckles Chaotix, in that it sort of has this verticality where you start at the bottom and you sort of loop backwards and forwards, raising, going higher and exploring the stage higher and higher until you get to the top. You find the goalpost and you can actually complete the stage. That is very much in keeping with the Knuckles Chaotix stage design ethos, which is pretty interesting to see. I'm really glad that they've managed to ape that style so perfectly and make this feel like a very natural inclusion in Knuckles Chaotix. It's not going to convert anybody that doesn't already, get on with Knuckles Chaotix, which is a very strange game to get on with. Obviously, you are tied to another character at all time with this sort of like elastic rope made of stars. And the way you get speed in this game is by sort of slingshotting each other. One character will hold in place, and then you sort of move to one direction and then let them go so that you slingshot each other and gain speed that way. But also you have a lot of weird momentum in the air because of that elastic rope connecting you both, and as a result it's quite a strange controlling game, and something that's never quite easy to get used to, unfortunately. That's neither here nor there, because obviously it has to work with those mechanics in this ROM hack. One of the more interesting things that they've added is a monitor that lets you disconnect from your partner, so that you can play independent of them for a little while. I'm not entirely sure what the purpose of that is, because the only way to get yourself connected back to your partner is by pressing A, which costs rings, and then that sort of like resets your positioning so that you're back with your partner. So you lose rings as a result, and there's no way to seem to reconnect to them without taking those rings away. So yeah, that's a little bit of a shame. But yeah, I think the stages on the whole, the first 3 acts in particular, are very well designed, very much in keeping with the Knuckles Chaotix stage design ethos. But I think it does fall apart, unfortunately, in Act 4, which seems to lose a background quite a lot. It's very much just one single colour for a lot of it. And there are these weird little gates that are made up of individual sprites that look kind of broken. It doesn't look like they've put in sort of like a graphic for those just yet. It feels like they're using something placeholder, which looks a bit rough at the moment, which is a bit of a shame. And also that 4th act changes things up to being more of a boss rush stage, which unfortunately means that it has a strange finality to it, which after one complete stage, it feels like it should probably be placed at the end of the game. Understandably, this is a demo, but yeah, it's a bit strange to have something like that showcased so early on in the game. Bit of a strange choice for a demonstration, but yeah, it's just one of those things that I noticed. But yeah, there's some interesting ideas here. I like the idea of obviously taking stages that basically got scrapped and completing them and finishing them and making them playable in the actual game that they were supposed to be, designed for. So it's lovely that that Sonic Cracker stage is now available to play in Knuckles Chaotix as a fully completable thing. But at the moment, it's just a little bit rough around the edges. That fourth act in particular is a little bit of a strange choice for the first stage of a game. And I would, like to see a little bit more graphical detail in that act as well. It definitely needs a background, and some of the sprites need to be sort of like changed or corrected for later builds, which may well be something that's on the cards at some point. But yeah, an interesting first look at Sonic Clackers. Again, it has nothing to do with testicles, but it does have an amusing name. And I do like the fact that, they've basically brought back Techno Tower from Sonic Crackers and made it completable and playable within Knuckles Chaotix. I think that's a really nice little bit of archival work there. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing what goes into this in the future, because it does appear that the project is kind of aiming to be a sort of sequel of sorts to Knuckles Chaotix. So hopefully we get to see some more deleted stages from Sonic Crackers fleshed out into completed stages. Yeah, really cool stuff, but would definitely like to see more of it and in a more complete state.